Our next guest has spent his entire career studying the psychology of killers. Retired FBI special agent and chief of the behavioral analysis program, Dreeke, joins me now. So you study people like Kohberger. I was so struck by his demeanor today in court. He walked in, he was confident, showed no emotion, almost shameless, really, in how he just said yes to all these questions, admitting that he killed these 4 kids.
Yeah, shame's an emotion, so he wouldn't feel shame because, as you said, Elizabeth, he is without emotion. He has not deviated from his baseline of what his behavior has been in the courtroom from the very first appearance he made a couple years ago now. He looks exactly the same. As Brian said a while ago, it looked like he was answering test questions, and that's exactly the way he approached this entire thing, as a study of a test of something he was trying to do to try to get an emotional response. He described himself as emotionless years ago, and that's what we're consistently seeing in the courtroom. And one more point there, you had asked going into the break whether he thinks he's guilty. Guilty against an emotion. Does he know he did it? Yes, he knew he did it.
There's been a lot of speculation all along that he was a criminology student, that he was trying to commit the perfect crime. We know from the prosecution today in court that he stalked at least 2 of those girls for months and months, you know, driving past their house in the middle of the night. What does that tell you?
He knew exactly what he was doing, planned, calculated. Matter of fact, I believe he was probably surprised, as it was indicated when he was first arrested, that he was caught because he studied this so extensively. And his one failing, and thankfully for it, was that night sheet with the touch print DNA on that thumb snap, because without that, this would have been a near perfect crime that he would have gotten away with, potentially, just because he was so thorough in his prep work. And like we said, he was surprised and emotionless throughout the entire thing.
And then he goes back to his apartment and takes a selfie of himself with a thumbs up in the bathroom of his apartment. This sounds like a guy who, if he's not caught, would have killed again.
I definitely believe so. You know, when we're looking at serial killers, they have a pattern of behavior that they're trying to do to satisfy some fantasy and need they have. And that one selfie that you mentioned in that bathroom, it was the only time, and there's a few photos.
That he shows emotion.
Exactly. It's the first time we've seen anything. It was after it was taken right after the murder. So that's the only emotion he got. And so he's going to do that again to get that same kind of emotional response, most likely. So I definitely think it would have happened again had he not been caught.
Our Bryan Anton was in court today, sitting right behind the Kohberger family. I found myself wondering about them, if they ever knew there was something off or wrong with their son, if anybody saw any warning signs. Do people like this have, you know, behavior that makes people suspicious around them?
So he definitely had a lifetime of what I call a behavior arc of really challenging behaviors and a lifestyle. You know, he battled with drugs for years. He battled with overeating. He battled with a lot of things, as he self-described as trying to do something to get an emotional response. So it's not surprising he dabbled in drugs and all these things. And then you have parents, especially the father, that really tried to step in to help his son overcome those things, and very big part of his life, but shameless, unfortunately, not able to stop him from this path he put himself on.
Wow. Just a shocking, shocking end to the story, and I sure hope we get more information for the sake of those families who need answers. Dreeke, great to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.